Give my love and beat it. Hand it over, sister. Don't wanna let the dealer. Nah, sister, now, papa. What me as I'm going? Look here, brother. I'm rocking and rolling. Is this all there is? Is this all there is? It must be more than this. If it ain't so, we might as well rock and roll.
Yes, guys, welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today for the Liverpool-Chelsea match preview. And we'll talk about Caicedo as well. To help me to do all this, we've got Ben back on the show. Ben, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Bit of a mad time, isn't it, at the minute for us? But I'm sure we'll get into it. But yeah, apart from that, mate, all good. Thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Came back from a nice little break with the kids and the wife, and they all come back and got colds. So it's the typical thing kids do. Yeah, but not too bad. So let's just get this Caicedo thing sorted. Let's just talk about this first, get this done. So we all know the situation. Liverpool, from nowhere, was it Thursday night? Went in for Caicedo from absolutely nowhere. No one saw it come in and bid 110 million, British record at the time. And I think all of us were very took back by it and thought, what the hell is going on? I thought we were going after Lavia. And then it was like, no, apparently Billy Hogan, as CEO, was in charge of the whole thing. This was his little thing he was doing. I don't know what that means for George Schmack. I don't know what the point of the guy is, but Billy Hogan took over this. I think Billy Hogan wanted Caicedo the whole time and don't understand why we weren't going for him. And he saw an opportunity where he believed Chelsea. There was a little window there where Liverpool could just go in, consumpt Chelsea, and get the deal done. But the problem is we didn't do personal terms beforehand because it's such a 12th hour thing. And the thing with personal terms, what it shows me is there's no loyalty in football, like none. Because any transfer I ever hear about, Ben, you always hear first, personal terms are not a problem.
And the club has to agree, yeah.
Yeah, but it just tells me there's no loyalty in football at all. Liverpool didn't do the personal terms. Caicedo's been talking to Chelsea since May, I believe. So we all know the story there. And Liverpool kept strong. And they went, no, we've got the only bid accepted until, an hour ago?
No, even now it's not. There's not been a bid.
It's not been a bid, but by the look of it,
they're preparing it, yeah. But right now, we still have it, yeah. But they are going to bid. Alex Crook, who I think is fairly reliable, has just said that they are pushing for Caicedo. The confidence has been boosted by the fact the players' camp wants the move, but the key factor is whether FFP will allow them to match the favourable LFC structure.
And this is why apparently Liverpool bid 111 million. Because they believe if Chelsea spent 111 plus, then they would. I think it's not the FFP thing. I think it's the Premier League sustainable new law that's coming that they think there's a loophole there that benefits Liverpool. But the thing is, what do Liverpool do from now? Because it does look like, no bid's gone in yet, but it looks like it's going to happen. Caicedo will probably go to Chelsea. The contract's massive. As me and Ben was saying off air, 8-year deal till 2031. I can't even think that far ahead. No long see. Who would ever thought we'd see a contract that says till 2031? It's mental. I think it's close to 300 grand a week as well. So yeah, we've added on some bonuses. So it's a mad deal. That look, I don't blame Caicedo for taking the money. I don't blame any footballer taking the money because it's a short career. They don't get a retirement package. Go and make your money. That's what I say. I don't believe the story, though, Ben, where Caicedo wouldn't want to come to us. I believe that's more his agents. I believe his agents are more involved there.
They're 100% in his ear, telling him what to do. They want the paycheck. How do they make their money from their best client, which is obviously Moises Caicedo. So, any business owner, that's their main focus. How do we get the most money? And there's been everyone's always obsessed with agents like that. Mino Raiola, who obviously is no longer with us, got a lot of stick for the way he did things. And maybe, there is right and wrong ways to go about things when you're a super agent. But at the end of the day, that is where their big payday comes from, their superstar player. So I'll just go back to the first bit I wanted to say. When you look back at the Klopp's pre-match conference on Friday morning, it's very telling to me now, looking back at it. I watched it again, I think last night. He didn't seem confident, in my opinion. He said, yeah, okay, the club's agreed a fee, but we still have a long way to go. And then they asked him about a medical. He said, I have no idea if anything's booked. He didn't seem too confident, in my opinion. So I just think they knew all along, an 8-year deal on 250 grand a week. There was no chance we were going to get him for that. I'm not sure why the bid stood for so long. Obviously, maybe to get Chelsea to cough up the cash, really. That if we put that bid in to make them spend another 20, 30 million, then that's absolutely brilliant from us. We've made them spend more money. Like you say, there could be FFP thing in there to stop that bid from going, which let's hope happens. But the money side of things, I don't think we can really blame us because we've done everything we could. We put up a British record sum, which is absolute madness to think our club, the one that doesn't spend money, did that. We've proven how much money we've got to spend, so that should hopefully calm us down a bit. All these reports earlier on saying Liverpool are struggling this summer for cash. Well, they've proved it now. They've got the cash. Now you need to go and find your replacements, whether that's Romeo Lavia or Andre or Decore, whoever it may be. You go and get them now because we're not getting Caicedo. There's still a chance, and it's football, right? Anything can happen. But we're all pretty much on a similar page. He's off to Chelsea. We just need to quickly resolve this now. Go for our next target, whether it's Lavia, who, by the way, I wouldn't blame him if he said he didn't want to come now, because we were going after him all summer long. And then actually, you know what? Someone that's better than you comes along. We're going to try get them. We failed to get them. Then we come back crawling to Romeo Lavia. So it's a bit mad. The situation's crazy, mate. And to be honest, I don't think anyone in the world really knows what's happened over the last 48 hours. It is all just speculation. You will see loads of different reports from different journalists. But until something's set in stone, it's all speculation, isn't it? So unfortunately, it doesn't look like this player is coming. And Chelsea, I'm not going to change my opinion on the player. They've got a world-class potential player there who is going to probably be the best in his position in 3-4 years' time. And that really annoys me. I went on a tangent.
Sorry, my kids just walked in. Hang on.
It's all good. Don't worry. But yeah, that really frustrates me because they already got Enzo Fernandez, who is a player we were obviously linked with as well for a while. They've now got Caicedo, it looks like. They signed Mudryk for close to 100 million. They're signing all these players, and it's just frustrating, isn't it? And obviously, this all adds to the tension for tomorrow's game, Jamie, which we're going to get into soon.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's game. You thought there was a big heavyweight fight tonight. Wait till tomorrow, man. Wait till tomorrow. No, this is it's absolutely nuts. Look, I've never known Liverpool ever to go in for a transfer when they haven't done personal terms first. Yeah, I've never known Liverpool to do that in the years, especially since Klopp's been there, where they always make sure the player wants to come to Liverpool before they put a bid in. Did it the opposite way around this time. I don't know if they felt like we're Liverpool. Yeah, come. I don't know if that was the case. There were a bit of like cockiness there or something. But it is very hard dealing with a footballer that has been talking to another team for so many months. Speaking to them, speaking to their representation, and telling them what they got planned for them, what they got planned for the player, what we're going to do, the future, the project, all this sort of thing, and then the contract and the play and the wages and all that. It's going to be very hard to turn that player's head, and then no matter who you are, at the end of the day. So Liverpool went about this the wrong one. What I do like in a way that Liverpool stuck to their guns and just went, at the moment we got the only bid, so why should we walk away and make it easier for Chelsea? I respect Liverpool. I respect that bit where if Liverpool just walked away, Chelsea could probably bid 100 million and get him because Brighton need him off the books now. So I respect Liverpool for holding in there. But what it does do, because I'm not actually bothered about not getting him, but what it does now and do, it shows the world that Liverpool got money. FSG, we know what FSG are like a little bit, and they shot themselves in the foot here because they've made it so public that Liverpool got money to spend. Now, I said this yesterday. I don't know if Chelsea are playing a game of 4D chess where they bid for Lavia, hoping that Liverpool would pull away from the Caicedo deal so they can get Caicedo cheaper and then just bum Lavia off like they did to Tyler Adams at Leeds. You know, you have one part of his medical, for goodness sake. And they went, no, you're all right. We don't need you now. I don't know if they were thinking of that, but Liverpool are in a situation now where we got to the 1st of September. We need a number 6 desperately. Do we go back to Lavia? Do we go back with tails between our legs back to Southampton? But then Southampton go be like, we know you got money. 60 mil. It's going to be 60 million there.
And we didn't value him at 50. So what are the chances of now going back in for that? You know what I mean? Like, we should have just coughed up the cash when we had the chance. It's an extra 4 million. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes no sense, the whole Lavia situation. You value him at 46, but you don't go up to 50. I just don't get what we're doing in this window.
Yeah, 4 million in football terms is a cup of coffee. Let's face it.
Especially for us, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 4 million, that is all that was between us and Lavia from being accepted. Lavia wants to come to Liverpool. He's talking about it now. He doesn't want to go to Chelsea. He literally wants to come to Liverpool. Apparently, he's told his partner and his friends and all that, I want to go to Liverpool. I want to play for Liverpool. I want to play for Jurgen Klopp. And we're sitting there like, Liverpool got to go back to Southampton. If they go back for Lavia, Ben, they're going to have to overpay for him.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a situation now where even if we weren't going in for Caicedo and we left it until this point, no matter who we go for now, it is going to get like that anyway, because every club knows that we're in desperate need now. We're going to go to the Bridge tomorrow, and I love this kid, by the way, but we're going to go to there with Curtis Jones as the 6, I think. So any club that we go to now, whether it be Palace for the Core, Southampton for Lavia, whoever, they're going to look at that and think, these guys are desperate now. We can't really lose our big player because we've only got like a week to replace him now, or 2 weeks. I don't know when the window shuts. So it's getting late for everyone. Realistically, Lavia is the best option because Russell Martin has confirmed that he's cleared out and, you know, he's going, and he said today that he's not playing at the minute because his head's not in the right place.
Yeah.
But I just don't know, because if we didn't value him at 50 million, if the price is going to go up, I just don't see that. But what are the other options, mate? You know what I mean? Like, we've only heard of Lavia pretty much reliably all window. I was absolutely dead certain that after the first bid, that meant, okay, fine, we'll get him. Second bid goes in. Okay, we'll get him with the next one. Third bid goes in. We don't bid again. It's like, we clearly wanted him, mate. We bidded 3 times. So it just makes no sense.
And this is the thing. What don't make sense to me is that they did, what the story from what is coming out from the club is that it's not like, I think Melissa Reddy wrote this as well. It's not, by the way, Melissa Reddy.
Brilliant, yeah.
Brilliant. The other fella from Italy, he can do one. But Melissa Reddy, proper journalist. What she's done in this whole 48 hours, proper journalist. So Melissa, if you're watching. But no, Liverpool have now got to make a decision what they do, because they obviously like Lavia because they wouldn't have bid for him in the first place. It weren't a money issue with Lavia. It was that they didn't value him at 50 million. We know Liverpool will never go really over the odds on a player unless they desperately need to. The Virgil thing, they went over 20 million over the value because we dicked Southampton about, so they had to pay it. I suppose you can say we overpaid for Darwin Núñez a little bit, maybe, but that's really about it. And they got to come to a decision what they, like Billy Hogan and all that right now, have got to come to a decision what they need to do. Klopp, Billy Hogan, Big George, they've all got to sit in a room and just go, look, what's the list of players available? What can we do? We've got the money here. It's burning a hole in our pocket. It's available to spend. The fans know we got it firstly. If we don't spend this could that's the other thing as well. In Liverpool, because I know with Jurgen, if he can't get a player, he won't get anyone, and we know that's part of his strength and also a little bit of his weakness as well at the same time. And we know how tight the owners can be. But the fact is that you, me, everyone knows that they got money. They literally try to make a British record for Caicedo. They have to spend, don't they, Ben? It's as simple as that. They can't. There's no excuse now.
Yeah, I mean, I know you say about Klopp's first choice targets, and that is true, but there's been many instances where we haven't got Klopp's target and they've gone on to be stars. I mean, this is the obvious one. Everyone always says it. Mo Salah. Klopp actually wanted Brandt, and we ended up getting Mo Salah. So
Mane,
the rest is history, isn't it? Mane, there's been a few. We wanted Timo Werner, got Jota. So the second choice options for us when it has happened haven't usually, been bad signings. No. So we have no choice now. We can't just go, oh, well, it was Caicedo or nothing. No, we're left with no DM. Jones might be able to slot in there. McAllister can do a bit there. Great. 1 or 2 games here and there. That's fine. But if we want to go back to where we were quickly, and I'd imagine that is the plan because, Klopp's not got too long left. He's got 2 or 3 years. In that time, I would like us to win at least one of the Premier League or Champions League one more time. So to do that, we have to use this season as the sort of rebuild season, and then maybe we can look at fully going for the other ones the season after. So, yeah, something has to happen this summer. It's clear. You can't. No club in football history, especially in the Premier League, has ever gone into the season without a defensive midfielder. It's just never happened. Klopp's not an idiot. I trust this man with everything. This is the man that's just made the best moments of my life happen. I trust him with everything. I trust that man's got a plan. I trust that he's having talks with the owners and Billy Hogan right now as to what the next step is. We just don't know it yet as fans, and I'm sure we will soon. But yeah, it is disappointing. Just to touch on the Caicedo one last time, because that moment, David Ornstein, by the way he worded that tweet was, I'm not going to say too much, but it wasn't nice because he said personal terms are a formality. As far as I'm concerned, mate, a formality means like, this is it. Personal terms are not an issue. You know what I mean? Medical booked for Friday. We're in dreamland. I got like 4 hours sleep on that night, bro. And then I had to go to work. So for that sort of 12-hour period, mate, we were like, wow, this is like a Van Dijk, Alisson sort of signing for us now. This is it. This is us putting ourselves back on, the map for the league or not Champions League this season, but you know what I mean. This is a signing that's going to go on to change our club, and just like that, it evaporated right in front of our eyes. And look, I've said it on another stream as well. I'm not going to change my mind on Caicedo. I'm not going to now sit here and say he's overrated. He might be overpriced. He's definitely overpriced, but he's not an overrated player. He's a special player, and that is what makes it frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. It's ain't nobody. Big up Don Cool saying, how you doing, Jamie? We can't be deluded in accepting PR spin from FSG. That's that we can't find players. We have the money. Yeah, you're right, but it has to be the right players. I'm all look.
No panic, boys.
I don't want like the Brendan Rodgers era when we just buy anyone in. I don't want that again. That's because Brendan. If Brendan was our manager right now, guys, we will just buy anyone.
God forbid.
Because he just wanted players. He wanted a squad. He wanted like 30 players. That's what Brendan wanted. We're not going to do that. The shortlist now is very small. It's probably 2 or 3 players, and that's it.
Yeah.
And you're looking maybe just in the Premier League now. Who you can look. Personally, I'd go Newcastle and just offer 100 million for Bruno Guimaraes. So that's what I would do. I mean, they're just going to smash Villa 5-1 today. That Villa hype lasted long, didn't it? Let's do my head in. Oh, Villa top four, go away. Liverpool got to do something. I don't want Decore from Palace. I just don't think. I'd rather Lavia over Decore every day of the week, because Lavia's a better footballer. He's better on the ball. He's got good passing. He's got good ability, more athletic, move quicker. He's the one I'd rather have. So I'm looking at who else. Obviously, Bruno at Newcastle would be one I would love, but I don't. Newcastle ain't going to set 100 million. They don't need to. So And you look abroad, who is there? Luis from Benfica, is it?
Yeah.
Who's got the release clause that Liverpool have been interested in. They can afford that release clause. We've seen that. He's 23. I don't.
Perfect age profile, isn't it?
Perfect age profile. Perfect kind of. If you see him as a footballer, he's everything Klopp sort of loves. There's a lot about him that Klopp and Liverpool really rate, and maybe that's why we were looking at him in the first place. I'm trying to get my head around it because I just don't know if we like the thing with Chelsea as well. If they get Caicedo, Lavia, they now need a new goalkeeper because Kepa's gone to Real Madrid on loan, and they're apparently getting a league say. I always have a go about Man City, but Man City are not reckless. I just don't know how Chelsea have done this. I really don't. I don't get how it's working because I can guarantee you one thing: if Liverpool did all this, FFP will kill us.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know, if we got Liverpool got like rich owners like everyone else has got, these wealthy owners who don't care about spending,
people would be fuming, mate.
Done. They'd make a stone call. Oh,
you know what? As well, yeah. Now you say this, Jamie. I did a tweet yesterday, yeah, and everyone's always quick to talk about City's owners and Newcastle's owners and the stuff that they might not necessarily be doing rightly. And to be fair, I don't think Newcastle, since they've had the Saudis, doesn't look like they've spent anywhere near as much as what people would have thought. But what they have done is they've bought the right players and they've made some really good signings.
Yeah.
But people give it to about Saudi owners and Man City's owners. No one's really like as much as they should have questioned what Bowler's doing. Like Chelsea fans will turn around and say, "Oh, we've done net spend. Yeah, you've done net spend for this window. Fair enough. You've sold Havertz, you've sold Mendy, you've sold a few players. Okay, fair enough. But what about the 600 million you spent in a January transfer window, which has never ever happened in the history of the Premier League? Like you didn't make 600 million back then, did you? Like, okay, you're doing net spend for this window, but last January they literally spent 600 million, which I'm pretty sure is more than what Jurgen Klopp's had to spend in his whole Liverpool career. So it makes no sense. I don't know how they're getting away with it. Hopefully, it will come back to bite them, and they'll have some repercussions because it's just absolutely madness what they're doing right now.
It is, and these midfield options, man, we need a 6. I just don't know Liverpool go. I don't know Liverpool going around Madrid and just go, you see that Tchouaméni geezer? Yeah. I mean, if they did that, like, fine. Like, we've got the better deal.
Tchouaméni, Caicedo would be forgotten about. Very
like that.
I would really feel sorry for him because there would be a lot of people that will now feel a bit underwhelmed, and that's not on Lavia. Like that's not his fault. He's still a brilliant young player. He's still going to be a superstar. But going from Caicedo to Lavia in some people's eyes, if that signing got announced, some people would be like, "Oh, great, but we got somebody that's not as good." You know what I mean? And I would just feel really bad for him if that happened. But let's hope we cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, I mean that is one thing that will happen because people can't help but doing it, can they? That. They will slag Lavia off, saying no, he's not. Lavia's a good player. I've said it before. Lavia at 19 and Caicedo at 19. Don't know if there's much in it.
He's better on the ball as well.
Yeah, I don't know if there's much in it. And I've been saying this about Lavia for a while now. So, but the problem is, if we start talking about Lavia like this, people will just say, "Oh, you're just upset because Caicedo and you're not overrating Lavia." That's not the case. We've all been talking about Lavia like this for quite a while now, and that's why I was hyped about trying to get Lavia in the first place. I was like, just pay the money. He's a very good player. He's going to be a superstar in a few years' time if you give him the opportunity, especially at our club, playing under Jurgen Klopp and the players he's got around him there. It'd be a great thing to buy. I just don't know if Liverpool can... Look, Liverpool now got to go and outbid Chelsea for Lavia. Are Chelsea going to just sit there and go, nah, you're all right?
They ain't getting both. I'm fairly confident they ain't getting both. Why would Lavia go there now? Like, they play the same position. You're a bench player. Lavia, I think, is pretty switched on, and that's why all this time he's like we've all heard that he wants Liverpool. He wants to play for Klopp. Like he's not stupid. I did a tweet again yesterday. Like there are still some people and football players in this world that have a bit of common sense. Alexis McAllister is another one. He had the exact same decision to make as Moses Caicedo, and he could have gone to Chelsea, could have got ridiculous money, could have played with his mate Enzo Fernandez. They won a World Cup together. But no, he chose the project, he chose the manager, he chose the fans, the stadium that we have, the city. Like, you get all this nonsense about people saying, oh, but these players just want to live in London. Like, do they not think that there's mansions like nearby to like 20 minutes drive away from Liverpool? Like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah, you don't actually have to live in Liverpool itself. You can live in Chester or something like that.
Oh. Well, yeah, McAllister, I did a tweet saying how much I love the guy. You know, he had the same decision to make. He made the right decision.
Yeah, that's one player we got in who is superb. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I do feel for Lavia and all this because I think his heart was on Liverpool. And then we were like, we want you. We don't value it 50 million. Although it's only a 4 million difference. But all of a sudden, we value Caicedo at 110 million. For me, that's what don't make sense. Because Liverpool, they're saying they don't value Lavia, who's only had one season as a professional in the Premier League, yeah? And I think Caicedo's only played 15 more games than Lavia at Brighton in the Premier League. And he's only 21, so he's only a couple of years older. But then they overvalued him at 110 million. So this is where I don't understand the club sometimes. So it looks like at the moment, I don't know about you, Ben, but it looks like in the background at the club at the moment, everyone's got different ideas and doing their own thing. Like George Schmack is meant to be our sporting director. He's meant to be doing all this. But then Billy Hogan literally took it upon himself to do the Caicedo deal and even went to London, apparently, to try and sort it out.
Whether we get Caicedo or not, and we all know we're not pretty much at this stage.
Yeah, Paul Joyce.
Something. Oh, well, there we are then. There we are. Has he actually tweeted it? Paul Joyce?
Yeah, I think someone's just quote tweeted him.
I've not had a notification.
I think it was somebody in because they might have got it off his Telegraph.
Yeah. I think it's from his article. Yeah,
in his article.
But whether we sign him or not, and it's obviously not now, if Joyce is saying that, something big's happening, mate. Billy Hogan doesn't come out like for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, the only time I've seen Billy Hogan really make an appearance in the last year is after the Paris stuff in the Champions League with the fans. That's the only time I've seen him. When Billy Hogan comes out, it's for a serious matter. He's not going to come and lead negotiations or get involved in transfers for nothing. So we're not signing Caicedo. That's all. Money's there. Billy Hogan's sniffing around. Jurgen Klopp's obviously in conversations with them. I need these players or I literally can't do my job. And it's not going to be as good as Caicedo. Okay, fine. But, you know, if there's any manager out there that can get the best out of players that are good but have potential to go to that next step, it's Jurgen Klopp. Well, Pochettino did it to some degree at Tottenham, but Jurgen Klopp is if he takes a young player under their wing, 9 times out of 10 they become top class players. So
no, I agree, and as I say, we all rate Lavia here. We always have done, and I hope he's the one we go back in for. But yeah, Florentino Luis as the Benfica guy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think this late in the stage now, I think they'll look for Premier League based defensive midfielders, and I think Lavia's the one. Just go and get him, but there's still money there. Personally, I'd go and get Tyler Adams and Lavia. I'd go and get them both because Tyler Adams only got a £20 million release clause. Decent footballer. Get Lavia as well, 50 mil, 55. There you go. And then you still got a little bit extra for a defender. And they're after a young defender that can come through, ain't they? So there's money. I mean, that's what I would do. Then you've got 2 good young footballers, international footballers as well in your midfield. That are good players, along around some experience, and you can start building this midfield again because, yeah, this number 6 needs to be done. It needs to be done. I'm just glad I wasn't one of the YouTubers who went live when we found out we'd be for Caicedo because I was on holiday.
We had a thumbnail made, bro.
Yeah.
We had a thumbnail made. We were ready to stream 7 p.m. on Friday. We were ready. I got a panel together.
Yeah, I was on holiday. So I couldn't go live because I got clipped up. Like Sam got clipped up. I think Cal from Coppish got clipped up. You know, a lot of people got clipped up.
A little secret between me and this stream and you as well. We're very close to getting the watch hours as well to become monetized. And I think a Caicedo to Liverpool stream would have taken us over the line. But now I think it's going to take a few more streams to get there.
Yeah, I've got to say, big up to everyone in the chat because
smash the like button, guys.
The last 2 videos I did combined did about 19,000 views. So,
jeez.
Yeah, so big up to everyone in the chat. I do appreciate that. And I think about 120 new subscribers as well. So,
wow.
Yeah, big up to everyone. Thank you for all being here. Do appreciate it. But look, I think personally we should go and get Lavia and Tyler Adams. Who do you think we should go and get, Ben?
I'd be happy with Lavia and a centre back. Obviously, there's an argument to have another midfielder, but if we just get Lavia, and I'm not really watched this guy play, but Ignacio seems to be the one that everyone raves about. He's got a release clause as well, which is again the theme of this transfer window for us. I think you can get them both in for 100 million. Depends how much more the Lavia price goes up, but people seem to think that Lavia is closing in on a Chelsea deal. I'd be very surprised if that's the case and we don't put in another bid, because unless they know that there's somebody else that is just completely random that no one suggested, because I'm trying to work out who that could be. I don't really know from the top of my head.
Fofana might go.
Fofana maybe. But yeah, as long as they go and address it now, they've shown they've got the money, like we've said. We know what we're after. It's pretty clear now. The last 2 players we bidded for are Lavia and Caicedo. So, yeah. The other thing as well, by the way, I said this on TA2. We should never have sanctioned Fabinho until this was done. This should have been the priority first. You get that done, and then you let Fabinho go. And now we've not got any, and we're going to the bridge tomorrow with no DM, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. But look, let's get on to that game. Liverpool-Chelsea, our first Premier League game of the brand new season, away at Stamford Bridge, or the cashless stadium, as Liverpool helped Twitter put out. This is just hilarious. How are we feeling about tomorrow? Because we are going into the bit of the unknown. This is a whole new Chelsea team, basically. Pochettino, the serial loser, is now the manager of Chelsea. Does develop good players, though. Pochettino, he's a good coach. I will give him that. What's your gut feeling on this? Because we're going with number 6. They've got a few issues in midfield themselves, and Nkunku's now out till January. The new guy they brought up top, he bagged a couple in pre-season. Yeah, Jackson looks quite handy. They got the Ukrainian Theo Walcott, ain't they, on the wing? They got they got some players there. Sterling's still there. I don't know why, but Sterling's still there. What do you see tomorrow? How do you think this game's going to go tomorrow?
Well, I'm excited first of all because I am going. I managed to get sorted out by my very good source. Managed to get me a ticket. I know somebody's watching this that will know who that is, so thank you very much. Yeah, I'm very excited, mate, to be honest. I'm like, when the season begins, no matter what the window's been like, no matter how bad we were last season, I'm like a kid on Christmas Eve right now. I'm so excited to see these guys tomorrow, mate. I went to Germany to watch a pre-season friendly because I missed them so much. And I shouldn't have done that on the back of last season. I had every right to say, no, I'm not doing it. Too much money. They don't deserve it. But I just missed them. Like, I had to go and do that. I wanted to. I just missed it so much. The game tomorrow, I'm quietly confident. I don't know if that's a stupid thing to say because it's Stamford Bridge. The last 4 games in 90 minutes have been 0-0 against Chelsea. But they ain't got the players that they want yet either. Caicedo, even if he signs tonight, they might unveil him, which will be very interesting at the beginning of the match and see how that goes down in the away end. But they don't have their end team either. I heard a rumor that their midfield is going to be Chukwuemeka, Conor Gallagher, and Enzo Fernandez.
No,
we should be able to carve through like
we don't need a number 6.
Yeah, we should, if that's their midfield. I know they've got that Santos, is it, mate?
I think Lewis, Kefri Lewis was talking about him today.
Yeah, he's supposed to be decent, but
he wants him to start because he doesn't want Gallagher in the team. But I think Poch like Gallagher, I reckon.
Yeah, maybe. But at the end of the day, mate, I said this a few times. this is probably the best time to play them. They've not got their team. They've not got the way that they want to play down to a T yet. Neither have we, but they've got a new manager, a few new players. This is the best time to get the Stamford Bridge game out of the way because it's one of the worst aways for us. I absolutely despise it when we go there. Watching it on telly, I hate it. But, you know, with the way we've been attacking in pre-season, we just have to go at them. Just go at them. Don't stop. Run at them for 90 minutes. Cause them all sorts of problems. 20 minutes to go. Refresh it. Bring Nunez on or Jota. Just go at them. We've got nothing to lose in this game because if we don't win or if we lose, okay, we've not got the team we want. Like, if we didn't win tomorrow, I don't think anybody could be too mad. You know, we haven't got the full team. We haven't had the perfect wonder that we want yet. But if we do win, mate, it's going to be a huge bonus and a huge boost because if you've not got the six, you've not got all the players you want in yet and you win at Stamford Bridge, then what's going to happen when you do have those players? What's going to happen when you do have the team you want? And finally, just before you come in, bro, this whole Caicedo thing as well, these players can't let them win. They can't let them win. I want to see a battle tomorrow. I want to see them put in that extra 10% because of this. We can't let them take Caicedo, potentially Lavia, and then lose to them in the same week. That can't happen. We have to win tomorrow. We have to. And I think we will. 2-1. That's what I'm saying.
2-1. There you go. Now, let's talk about something first that I think we can all talk very positively about in our team at the moment, and that's our forward line. That's our forward line. Now, it's a frightening forward line. I think Arsenal got a frightening forward line. I think Man City got a frightening forward line. I think they're the best three in the country with the forward lines. This Liverpool one, though, we got quite a few there. Who does he go with tomorrow? Because I know you spoke quite well about this before, Gakpo. Gakpo is almost undroppable in our team right now. Absolutely undroppable. You've got Darwin, who's scoring goals in pre-season. Looks a little bit better. Salah will play, obviously. You've got Diaz, who looks like he's starting to find his form again. And then you got the secret weapon, I almost think, in Diogo Jota, who I think someone said it today. I can't remember what ex-pro said it. I think it was Alan Shearer. I think said it. If he stays injury free, he could be up there for Golden Boot. Jota is a diamond. I don't know you drop. I don't like the big crop here because I don't know you drop. I think Darwin's the one that misses out at the moment. But I don't know if you can play all four because I've seen some people say today just play a McAllister, Szoboszlai, and then just play Gakpo in the midfield in the 10.
Not the bridge.
And then play the front three. I don't think you can do that at Stamford Bridge. At home, I think you can get away with that against certain teams where you're going to dominate the ball and you're going to have all the possession and that sort of stuff. You ain't got to worry too much about the counter attack. I think you can play that way. But at Stamford Bridge, you need to go with midfield three for me. So who's your forward line? Because I'm not sure right now.
Mine is Gakpo, 100%. Gakpo starts for me up front. What he's done since he's come in is just insane. I don't think he's got anywhere near enough praise from the outside world. Obviously, we all know how good he is. We've seen it. He is going to be that new Bobby Firmino sort of player for us, in my opinion. Yeah. So I'd go Gakpo as the striker or false nine. I'd go Luis Diaz on the left and I'd go Salah on the right. 20 minutes to go, like I say, you bring Jota and Nunez on, freshen things up, and you just go at them. What I will say is after this, we've got Bournemouth, so maybe that's when, you go, okay, you guys played this game, we'll give the other guys a go. I just think this season, all of them are going to get so much game time. They're all going to get the chance. It's healthy competition, We demanded this depth in our front line. Remember when we only had Mane, Salah, Firmino, and then the drop-off was Divock and Shaqiri and Minamino? Look, they all did their own thing in different ways. Divock is a cult hero, legend, actually. Not cult hero. I think that's disrespectful. He's a legend. He scored in the Champions League final. He had so many magical moments. But the quality, we all know, let's not be stupid. It wasn't there for the consistent basis. So now we've got these three that you've seen on the screen. And then we have Jota, we have Nunez, we have Ben Doak, who we're not even mentioned yet. that is the least of our worries, isn't it? Like, no matter what front three starts, we all know Salah's a guaranteed starter. Then the other two is anyone's really choice. It's lovely. It's absolutely brilliant to be in the situation, mate. I've never seen Liverpool have that much depth in the attack ever.
No, our forward line is no, it is great. It is the most, as you say, we've had depth before, but in players, but not in quality. This time we've got depth in quality, and there's an argument. I can make an argument. We can all make arguments that maybe Darwin and Jota should start, and with Salah, and I wouldn't argue it either. Yeah, I really wouldn't argue it. But Cody Gakpo, I'm with you, man. Yeah. Cody Gakpo is a super talent that I don't think is getting spoken about enough, as you say, apart from Liverpool fans. He's a special player. Considering we only got him in January, he settled down pretty quickly, and he got finished off the season really well. He's gone into pre-season, looked good. He looks fitter now, and he's as close to Bobby Firmino as we're going to have a Bobby Firmino in that number 9 area, in what Klopp wants his number 9s to do. I think because of the way we play with the wingers we got that are more inside forwards, we almost don't really need an out-and-out number 9. It's more of that false 9, the way we play with Cody Gakpo. The difference between him and Darwin wants to play off the shoulder. He wants to play give and go and just go one-on-one with the goalkeeper, or tap-ins or finishes inside the box. It's the way Darwin wants to play. Gakpo can link the play. He can drop deep. He can play with his back to goal. I know Klopp wants Darwin to play that way. I just don't think Darwin's got it in him to play that way, because you got to play to Darwin's strengths, where Gakpo can do everything Klopp wants. Klopp wants to press from the front. Cody gives you that. When Cody plays, he's the start of the press. I've noticed that recently. He's the start of the press, and then with Salah and Diaz, I don't know about you, Ben. I think Diaz needs a big season. Unfortunately for him, last year he was out for 6 months. He started the season really well. I think he needs a big season this year, Luis Diaz. I don't look for him to be the goal-scoring winger like a Salah or a Mane before him or anything like that. But I think he can be the creative winger on that side. That staying fit could be like our Martinelli in a way. That's what I'd say. It could be like that. And Martinelli. That's what I would say with Diaz. I think he's a top-draw talent.
Yeah, I said before, mate, if we had Diaz fit for the majority of that season, we would have got top 4, because there were situations and times where we had to use Nunes on the left, or other players shoehorned onto the left because we didn't have anybody else. So, yeah, he was a huge miss. Him and Jota, when they both got those long injuries, it just absolutely killed us, really. But he's a special player, mate. He's the most creative player out of all our attackers, in my opinion. I was lucky enough to be at his Anfield debut. And as soon as I saw him play, mate, I was like, yeah, this guy's special. I was at the Crystal Palace game where he scored that wonder goal as well. Seeing that in the flesh, mate, those goals don't come around very often. So they're big moments. And he's just got that flair, that incredible technical ability that we don't really have. So Poe is technically sound. He's absolutely unbelievable. Like, first touch, his passing. But when I mean like dribbling through tight areas, flicking the ball, like when it's tight, like the corner we scored the other day when Szoboszlai crossed it into him, just the instinct to do that was insane. So I think when the opposition's low block, I'm not saying Chelsea will be, but when that is the case, Diaz has to start for that reason. He's the one that can make something happen out of nothing. But yeah, I don't really have a preference. I love him. I love Jota, and I love Nunes. So if it was Jota starting tomorrow, I'd be confident. If it's Diaz starting tomorrow, I'd be confident as well. And that just comes down to that depth again. Like, people were moaning about some points we had, and I completely agree. But one thing we have done right is we've got these attackers in, and we're absolutely sound for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So, yeah, Luis Diaz, special player for me, man.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do. I do like Diaz. I'm going to say I do really rate him. Jota, I always think is Jota a better starter than he is an impact player? What do you think? Because I always wonder about Jota being an impact player, or is he better is he better starting a game? Because I saw a thing with Eddie Nketiah today. Eddie Nketiah has never scored when he's a sub apparently for Arsenal, but every time he plays, he scores. I was wondering if Jota's around the same. I know he does score when he comes on. I'm just wondering if the impact's better when he plays, when he starts from the beginning.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. I think he has come on and scored a few goals. I believe his first goal he came on against Arsenal and scored, and I think that happened a few times. But I know what you're saying. I think he likes to get stuck into the game straight away. He's a pressing machine. He loves the occasions. He doesn't stop working. I think that could be the case for all of the front three, though. To be honest, I think Nunes would rather start the game than be impact. Gakpo as well. Not really sure if he's that sort of impact player, but I just think when you want to change your game up completely, like tomorrow, say we're not having our look, it's a bit, cagey, it's a bit tight. You just make a simple change. You bring one or two of the other guys on, the game can completely change. We stretch the game, play balls into spaces for Nunes. There's so many options now. We can have a different front three for every game. That's how, that's how much depth we have. So I know what you're saying. Like these attackers probably do prefer to start because they can get straight into the game. I think when you're coming on from the bench, you're it's going to take you 5 or 10 minutes to get into it, the occasion. But when you walk out the tunnel with the teams, you shake hands, you're in it, you're ready to go. So yeah, I do see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just it's an interesting thing. I mean, Diaz, Jota, and Darwin on the bench. There's quality. Let's put it that way. But that would be my front three, right? Let's talk about the midfield. I think we can all agree that McAllister's going to start.
Yeah.
And then who else?
Szoboszlai and Jones, in my opinion. But I have made a bold prediction. I wouldn't be surprised if Thiago started tomorrow.
I was just about to say that you took my glory away from me. You took my glory away from me.
I got a sneaky feeling that
I think he starts.
There's a reason why we didn't see him in pre-season.
Yeah, I think he starts. I think he plays number 6 tomorrow. I've been saying that. I said it in the last few videos when we're talking about this number 6 position and what we're going to do against Chelsea. And I've been saying that if Thiago is fit and available, I think Klopp picks him as the number 6 over everyone because he can defend. Last season I actually thought he was our best defensive best midfielder at defending. He weren't playing defensive midfield, but he was defending from them areas in midfield. Hang on, sorry, 1 second. Ben, you carry on.
Yeah, I mean, my logic, I don't know what Jamie was going to allude on to then, so we'll wait for him to come back. But my logic is, I think that there's a reason why we may have sort of wrapped him up in cotton wool in pre-season. I'm not saying this is a guarantee that he's going to start, but I don't know. I think Thiago's become a luxury player where when we get midfielders in and more midfielders do come in, you can sort of pick and choose the games where Thiago is going to play. And Stamford Bridge, Chelsea away, if Thiago's fit, if Thiago is ready to play, if he's match fit, I ain't got an issue if they put him in this. Thiago, for me, is a superstar. And superstars, players as good as this guy, they don't really need to train on a day-to-day basis. When you're as good as Thiago Alcantara, you can get your match fitness up, get your sharpness up, and then you can just play. You're ready to go because you're that good at the game. You're that good at playing football. I was just saying, Jamie, I don't think with superstars, it matters too much how much they play. I think when you're somebody as good as him, if you're fit, you can play. And that might be a reason why they've sort of wrapped him up in cotton wool in pre-season.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's what I've been saying. I don't think Klopp is going to play Curtis Jones in the 6 against Chelsea. In that one friendly where Curtis Jones played it, the next game, he played all 4 forwards, didn't he? And played McAllister and Szoboszlai. If Thiago was available for that friendly, I think Thiago would have played. I think we might see it the way it is now. Like maybe a double pivot between Thiago and McAllister, with Szoboszlai having more of an attacking position on the pitch. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've obviously seen Szoboszlai play a bit deeper, haven't we, in the pre-seasons? And look, I don't really have an issue with that because for me, Szoboszlai's got that engine room that we needed to replace. You know, as much as people don't like Henderson anymore, when prime Henderson was, you know, starting week in, week out, he had an engine room. He could keep going for 90 minutes. And I see that in Szoboszlai. Obviously, Szoboszlai is technically superior to what Jordan Henderson's ever been in his career. But I had a bit of a misconception with Szoboszlai. I didn't know how big and strong he was and how physical he was, really. So I don't really have an issue with him playing deeper, to be honest. But there is an argument to be had that if you do play him a bit deeper, you are losing what he is best at, and that is attacking, scoring goals, just creating something, making something happen. I think the way you've got it set up there, if Thiago can play, is perfect, to be honest. Obviously, we know that we like to go 3 back and Trent goes inverted and all of that stuff, but that's obviously hard to translate on a lineup like this. So for the purpose of this, I guess we're just doing it as a 4-3-3. But yeah, that looks to me like as good as it is right now. Like I wouldn't have no issues whatsoever if that was what we saw. Like, by the way, just off topic, completely off topic. I don't know if you've seen it, but John Henry's flying to London, mate.
The whole FSG crew are flying to London, apparently. Ain't just John. They're all.
I guess we'll come back to that after we've done this.
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a minute. I've just been reading about that. It's very interesting.
Oh, my Lord.
But this is our best midfield 3 that we have available.
Yeah.
Curtis Jones unlucky to miss out, but I don't want Curtis Jones to play a defensive game. I want Curtis Jones to play that game where he's more forward, getting on the end of crosses, getting in the box and stuff like that, because that's what he's good at. Yeah. I don't really want to hamper him with more of a defensive style because I don't think that's fair to him. Thiago's more used to that. Thiago likes playing a double pivot. McAllister can play there as well. And I agree with what you're saying about Szoboszlai, because he is a unit. He's bigger and stronger than you first realise when you see him up close, and he's quick and he's athletic. That's why he can drop deeper. But you don't want to play like Szoboszlai being in that position. You want him being the attacking third of the pitch. That's what he's great at. You know, making things happen in that attacking third. So I'd rather him out there. I thought Harvey Elliott was actually quite impressive in pre-season. And I know he gets a lot of stick, Harvey. And yes, he's not the most disciplined midfielder. Also, I don't think it's where he should play. But every time he came on in pre-season, I actually thought he looked pretty good. Nice and tidy on the ball, got himself in good positions. But I wouldn't play him in the midfield 3. That's my only problem with Elliott. I think Elliott's suited to a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-3-1, where he's the attack-minded midfielder. Not in this Klopp 4-3-3. I just don't think it works for him, Ben. I don't know about yourself.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think if we got the players around him, you know, the DM and the number 8 sorted, which obviously we've got Szoboszlai and McAllister, I think you could potentially. But yeah, funnily enough, I went to Southampton away the final game last season, and I sat right by his dad. And I actually spoke to his dad, and I've been a big Harvey Elliott fan for a long time. Without sounding too strange, when he was 16, he caught my attention, and he was brilliant. He played against Arsenal. Didn't want that to come out the wrong way, that I've been looking at 16-year-old football players, but yeah, he was brilliant, mate. When he played against Arsenal, I think there was one against Aston Villa. I just seen this kid was like so confident and technically gifted. Like, he was unbelievable. And I think, like you say, he's got a lot of criticism, and I don't really think it's deserved, to be honest, because again, he wants to play on the right wing. I know that for a fact. Because I don't want to say too much, but I spoke to him, his dad, and he said that he said that that's where he wants to play. And you know, he is playing centre mid. he's not really played there. We sort of just made him play there for now because we didn't really have anybody else. The only issue now is, mate, we've got Ben Doak coming through. So if you are going to play him on the wing, we've got 2 kids now fighting for that right wing backup spot. So it looks like to me that he is going to have to stay as a centre mid because of that reason. Ben Doak seems to be that new kid on the block who is just, we'll probably get onto him at some stage, but he's the truth. Like, I was amazed by Harvey Elliott, but I'm absolutely blown away by Ben Doak. So for the right wing spot to back up to Salah, I think that is Doak's for now. So I think Elliott is just going to have to accept that if he is here, he might have to play as a centre mid and take it from there. But he's got the Europa League that I'm sure he'll start in. Both the cups, I'm sure he'll start in. So he has got a platform to prove himself and to show what he can do. So he's just got to take those opportunities when they come.
Yeah, I agree. Ben Doak, look, I know a lot of people spoke about him and
he's so good, man.
Talking about, maybe going on loan and all that. Nah.
No way.
No, you don't let this kid go on loan. He's a squad player. He's in the squad.
I think that about Phil Foden as well, mate.
Yeah.
Pep had Phil Foden. And
Pep said, no, why would I loan him out? He'll learn more playing, training for us for a year than he would going anywhere else because he needs to learn my style. I think Ben Doak, I'm not comparing the two by any stretch of the imagination, but I think he's a very good player. He's got a lot of talent, and I don't think we should be loaning him out. I look at everyone else his age in our squad, that's 17 and under, in the youth teams and stuff like that. No one's near him. No. And I've been loaning all them out before I loan Ben Doak out. He's going to get minutes. I wouldn't be surprised he's on the subs bench tomorrow. He's going to get minutes in the Premier League. He's got the cup games. I think he'll be playing Europa League games. He's got that fearless attacking attitude on that right wing where he just runs at players. He just don't care. He runs at players, and don't matter how old you are. If you're good at running and dribbling with the ball, it scares defences and it pushes them back. If you can push a team back, you've got more chances of putting the ball in the back of the net. So, yeah, I'd have him around the squad. I think he's highly decent, man. Right, let's sort out this back four, the troubling side of our team.
Sorry, I just see something. You know how all this hype about Harry Kane going to Bayern and he could win?
Yeah, Bayern are losing. Didn't Bayern lose? 2-0 down to Leipzig. Leipzig are a good team, by the way. Leipzig are a good team. Yeah, how much do you get? Here's something for you. I bet Bayern don't win the league this year either.
No,
I bet Bayern don't win the league this year. I bet somehow they lose the league to Leipzig or something like that. Because that's where I got my money, and I think Leipzig will win the German league. I think they're a very good team.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think Munich have got some players there who are getting a bit old now. But yeah, that's hilarious. Back four, weakest part of our team, Ben. I think the full-backs take care. I think the whole back four takes care.
Yeah, I think you can just put it in, mate. To be honest, it will be the same as what I say. Robbo, Virgil, Ibu, Trent, Alisson in goal.
Oh yeah, I mean Alisson and Salah are probably the starters in our team. Let's face it. I do feel for Alisson though. I feel like he's going to have to keep us in a lot of games this season.
Oh yeah. I mean, what he did last season. Like, I'm so glad he got played the season because he thoroughly deserved it. He was the only player, him and Salah to be fair, but I think Alisson even more so. Just the only two players. I think Salah did have a couple of patches where he did have a bit of a drought, but Alisson was just from the first game until the last game by absolute distance our most consistent player. Just saved us so many times on so many occasions, and if we didn't have Alisson, mate, just before we get into these defenders, I don't know where we would have finished last season because he is the best keeper in the world by distance, and I think he's quickly establishing himself. I know some old folks will probably disagree, but I think he's our best ever keeper from what I've seen, at least. Obviously, I can't speak from the 70s and 80s. I'll have to find out what some people that were in that era think.
Yeah,
but
Clement,
for me, he's top two. He's top two, isn't he?
Yeah. I think Clements is always going to be number one. I think that's just going to be
just different eras, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like what
I
Ali
think
does, they wouldn't.
Yeah, I think it is different, but I think Ray Clements is always going to be in that number one. Look, he's the best. Look, I'm 42, so he's the best goalkeeper I've seen in my lifetime at Liverpool. He's better than Bruce Grobbelaar. He's better than Pepe Reina. By the way, I thought was a fantastic goalkeeper. You talk about sweeper keepers. Reina was excellent at it. I don't think Pepe Reina ever got the respect he deserved for his sweeper keeping back in the day. Very good at it. Yeah, Courtois is brilliant, Pac-Man. I'll give you that. But he's out injured now, so
And they've just signed Kepa.
Yeah, that's funny, ain't it? Chelsea signed Kepa to replace Courtois at Chelsea, and now Madrid have signed Kepa to replace an injured Courtois at Madrid.
Yeah.
Like wherever Courtois goes, Kepa goes. It's a bit of the it's like Klopp and thingy, ain't it? Thomas Tuchel. Wherever one goes, everyone goes. But no, it's definitely look, this back four. Trent looks like a machine at the moment going forward. There is still issues with his defensive. Like I think we can all appreciate and understand that. Klopp knows he's not a perfect defender, but the whole point of this system is not for Trent's defensive ability. It's what he does going forward. And what he does going forward, for me as a Liverpool fan, I'm going to obviously be biased in this, but for me going forward in that right back position, I don't think there's anyone better in the world, personally, for me, with his ability. And defensively, yes, he makes mistakes. Defensively, he's bad. He is. I'm not saying but I've seen Reece James have absolute nightmares and never get pulled up on it because it's not fashionable to do. Right? We've all seen it. Right backs get annihilated all the time. He's got to do better defensively, but I don't know who's going to play inverted this season. I think Klopp wants to go back to his 4-3-3 or that German efficient 4-3-3 that we were excellent with. That's why he desperately wants a number 6. I think that's why he bought McAllister and Szoboszlai. So I think McAllister and Szoboszlai were bought to get the best out of Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's my opinion on it. And he wants to go back to the old way. But at the moment, he can't. So he has to play Trent inverted because we haven't got that number 6. What do you reckon, man?
Yeah, I'd love to go back to the old way, to be honest. I think obviously changing it up last season was needed at the time. We had to change something because it clearly wasn't working with what we had. And Trent Alexander-Arnold was by far our best player, apart from Alisson, after that change point. He almost, and obviously we missed out on top 4 in the end, but just the way he started to play, like there's no coincidence to me why he's vice captain now, because in the time where we needed him, this is the second time, by the way, 2021 he did the same thing. Last season he did the same thing. When Liverpool needed him the most, he turned up, and there's been a lot of criticism over this lad. Slight bias on my side. He is my favorite Liverpool player in this team. He is. I absolutely love him, mate. For me, he's captain, and I said he will be captain. Probably the right decision for now to give it Van Dijk, but I'm absolutely delighted that he is going to be captain in 2-3 years. Like, he's just so good. And you say about the defending, I completely agree. I get it. It's not his strong point. The guy was never a right back in the academy. I think is important to note. He was always a 6 and 8. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So he had to quickly learn how to defend and how to play at right back. And I think as well, he's improved a lot in the last couple, like the last 18 months or so. I think he's drastically improved, but it's not mentioned enough. The comparison to when he first came into now, still makes mistakes, but like you say, who doesn't make mistakes at right back? It's so easy. Like if you come up against someone like Matoma from Brighton, for example, anybody can get it. Anybody can get cooked by that player because he's so good on the ball. His agility, his dribbling is ridiculous. But when it's Trent Alexander-Arnold, plays for Liverpool, local lad, been branded as generational, which he is a generational player. It gets clipped, it gets likes, it gets retweets. That's the bottom line. We're the biggest club in the country. Our players, when they make mistakes, goes viral. And with Twitter ad revenue, sorry, bit of a mouthful there. We're going to see it more than ever this season now. People are just going to clip every single mistake to get those interactions. But Trent is a once-in-a-lifetime player. He's that good. the passing ability he's got, the crossing ability that he's got, and he's still only 24. What he's done in his career so far at this age is immense, and he is rightfully our vice captain right now, which again I think is going to be big for him to make sure he does pull up his socks a bit more. He is always at his best. He's raising the standards for himself, for the people around him. This is big for him. Captain means you have to be at that level every single game, and yeah, I think if we get the 6, we can go back to this and play Trent there. But until that 6 comes in, mate, I don't see it, because he's just going to be so exposed again. And that's my only concern. People are just going to bomb balls over the top, down that side. So, yeah, until he's got a 6 in front of him, I think it will still be inverted for now.
Yeah, I agree. I think we have to wait till that 6 comes in and see what Klopp does. Look, if he goes into that position, that might allow McAllister and then Szoboszlai to do the box, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
That box formation where then they can do that and try and keep hold of the ball. Diaz can go out wide, and then Salah, Gakpo come deep, and that allows Salah to have that room in there, don't it, to come forward. So I can see him doing that, but the only problem is I don't like this at the back. That's my only problem with it, because Robbo don't understand what he's doing there for me. Robbo he's a decent defender, Robbo. He always has been, but he's a decent defender as a left back, not an inside centre back, and that's my issue. And I think this is a big year for Andrew Robinson. I actually do. I don't think he's been at his best for around 18 months now, and he's getting older. I think he's the second oldest person at back line, ain't he? He's 29, ain't he? So I don't know about you, Ben, but I think this is actually a big year for Robbo, because we could be looking at left backs next season.
It is a big year. I will say I don't think this is Andy Robertson has been just a left back for his whole career. Since you can go back to Scotland when he played for, was it Dundee? Was it Dundee? I can't remember who he played for, but you can go all the way back to his early career. Left back, left back, left back, left back, left back. Hull City left back, right before we signed him. Absolutely brilliant in that season for Hull City, by the way, before we signed him. And then we signed him. Most assists, I believe, in the Premier League from a defender. He's been brilliant. Just constantly running up and down that left-hand channel all game long, whipping balls in, getting back, defending. He's been absolutely sensational. You're now asking him to go into a back 3, which for me, you can't blame him for not being able to do it, because he's never done anything like that in his life. His game is a left back. We all know that. And like Booger did say, he is one of the bargains of the century. 8.5 million, I think it was for him.
He's been great.
So the criticism he gets, I understand it to some extent, because he doesn't work in this setup. But I can't blame Andy Robertson for that. I have to blame whoever's in charge of recruitment or whatever, because you now need to go and get a player that can fit this system. And then you have Robertson for when you do want to go back to the traditional setup. It's not Robertson's fault that he can't play this. He's never done it in his life. You're now asking a 29-year-old to play something he's never played in his career. So, yeah, I don't blame him at all. It is a bit of a concern that if we keep going into this with Robertson there, we've seen balls go over the top. People are going down that side. So I get it. But, yeah, I can't blame Andy Robertson. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, with Robbo, what I will say is I don't know if Robbo can give us what Robbo used to give us, just because he's getting older now. And if he can't, I think that's why we need to look at a new left back in next season, because he's going to be 30. We should do our due diligence and make sure we got in a backup for Robbo before Robbo is knackered, and then we have to do it, right away. That should be future planning, what Liverpool should be doing anyway. But I think I personally think Robbo's going to be the new scapegoat, because I don't like saying this. I hate it. But unfortunately, Ben, there always is, ain't there?
Oh, there'll always be a scapegoat, mate. 100%. Out of those players you've got there, it will be Robertson. If that's the team and we don't win tomorrow, it'll be Robertson's fault. If you put Curtis Jones in there, it'll be his fault. If you put Harvey Elliott in there, it'll be his fault, regardless on how the game plays out. So, yeah, Matip, he's another one I've seen as well.
Matip should stay away, though. I will.
Yeah,
say.
I agree with that. But like, it's not just on them, is it? Like, there's so many moments that define a football game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But you know what, football fans, we all like it. Let's face it. Everyone's scapegoat to somebody, but unfortunately, that's the way it is. But look, that's a pretty decent team for me. I think that should get the game done because I don't know what Chelsea are going to do. This is such the unknown. You know, it's such the unknown. I don't know with Chelsea. Poch, they're still trying to buy players. I want us winning because apparently they go and unveil Caicedo at half time, right? That's what they want to do, yeah. So I want us to be 2 or 3-0 up at half time. Just like go and unveil him. We don't give a shit. You know, do it that way. Personally, I think I can't see us not scoring. This is the thing. I can't see us not scoring, but also at the same time, I can't see us keeping a clean sheet at the moment. So I'm going for a bonkers 4-2 to Liverpool.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think this front line is going to just be cooking. I just think Salah, Gakpo, Diaz, Darwin Núñez, and Jota have all got the capabilities, all getting into double figures this season. And I just think they're going to score goals, man. So yeah, I'm going to go 4-2. I think you said 2-1 earlier, didn't you?
That's a 2-1. Yeah, I still think it'll be a bit cagey. Both teams trying to feel each other out for the first half. It'll probably be mad, to be fair, as the game goes on. I could easily see like any result wouldn't surprise me, mate. If it was 0-0, wouldn't surprise me. If we battered them, wouldn't surprise me. If they won, wouldn't surprise me. Anything can happen in this game. Anything can happen, bro. I am quietly confident, like I said. I just think our attack, the way it's gelled, is going to be such a problem for them. A team that doesn't, like I said before, doesn't really know what they want to do yet. Like, look, Poch is a good manager. He's lost a lot of finals and trophies, of course, but he is a good manager. He will get Chelsea playing good football in the long term. But like I said, the team's a bit of a mismatch right now, which is mad to say they spent 600 million in one window. But yeah, they don't really have that DM. Neither do we. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait for it, man.
Yeah, and they haven't really got the forwards at the moment either, I don't think. I know they've got Jackson, who looks like he could be decent. But I'm not. Do you know, when we play Chelsea, I know everyone laughs at Timo about Havertz, yeah. About Shy Havertz. But
yeah,
he always played well against us. All the time. He was so irritating to play. So I'm glad he's not there, to be fair. I don't know what Chelsea... Is Ryan Sterling going to play? Is it going to be Jackson, Sterling, and Mudryk? Is that going to be their front three?
I'm not sure, you know. I don't think the Sterling transfer's worked out. I don't necessarily think he actually wants to be there. I don't think the Chelsea thing has worked for him. But again, I wouldn't be surprised because he probably is there, isn't he? Like, most experienced in the Premier League as well, obviously, out of all of them. But they're probably going to go Mudryk. I think Madueke is injured or he's coming back from injury. I'm not sure. Obviously, Nkunku's injured. So it'll probably be Mudryk, Jackson, and there. Maybe Sterling on the right. I'm struggling to think what other attackers they have at the moment that are available.
No, they got Bajcetic, their defender. He's out as well. Nkunku's out. They got a few missing at the moment. So you're saying they're not a complete side, but neither are we at the moment. That's the mad thing about it.
That's what makes it so interesting. Yeah.
People will maybe just come in asking about our lineup. Big up man like Sean. Sean, how you doing, man? No Jota in the starting lineup. There's no chance Thiago starts it with Madness to start him. Well, what we were talking about is like Thiago's fit and ready to play, and we're trying to fit. We got no number 6. Unless he just starts Stefan Bajcetic. Unless he just starts Stefan, who we ain't actually spoke about. Unless he goes, you know what, Stefan's a 6. We're going to play Stefan. He's younger than Thiago, so he's probably over his injury quicker. He's a bit quicker, more athletic. Maybe just go. We didn't really speak about Stefan Ben, to be fair, did we? So, I mean, but we've got no real number 6 in the team. And Thiago's the most experienced midfielder we got now. If he's available, everyone in the chat, who'd you rather in the 6, Curtis Jones or Thiago? Me and Ben would rather have Thiago. So, and we're not saying he should. It's just what we got at the moment. what we got at the moment. So you imagine Thiago and Trent playing next to each other. Jesus Christ. Although they might not complement each other that well, actually, because they're sort of a similar player, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jackson, Sterling, and Madrid. That front three is awful. Yeah, it is. But no, like they're going to be their electric best tomorrow. Enzo isn't a DM. Yeah, he's a DM, but not. He's not that kind of DM. He's like a Pirlo, ain't he? He's that kind of DM. He's more of a controller. Big Tech Michael Jackson. Seen a lot more in the seasons playing with Aguero than a false nine. Yeah, everyone's always said that. You got to play Sterling, you got to play with a striker, ain't you? There's no doubt about that. Let's just go through a few of these chats before we finish up. Neither you. I don't know what it's about. Mac 10. Yeah, McAllister, Szoboszlai. I'd love to see a Szoboszlai debut goal, 30-yard scream, or what he's known for. Here's one for you, though. Will Salah score on the opening day of the season again, Ben?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's inevitable.
What does everyone in the chat reckon? Would it be 7 years running? Is it 7 years running?
Yeah, this will be 7, yeah.
Is Salah, everyone in the chat, is Mo Salah go to score on the opening day of the season? Yeah, spam. Mods, get rid of the spam. Any mods in the chat, delete the spam. That's what stream elements are meant to be doing. What you're doing, do your jobs. Yeah, mods, get it done, guys. Get it done. Centino says no. Salah will activate God mode again. Yeah. The thing though, like we know says there, Salah will chase it, and that's my only other time with Mo when he gets a bit like I have to score.
He wants it.
Yeah, that's my only problem. When Mo's more relaxed, I think sometimes he's unplayable, but when he actually wants it, he's trying actively to score. Sometimes that's when you don't. Sometimes I don't think you see the best of Mo Salah, but yeah, I think it's inevitable to score. Before we finish up, guys, so we just saw the tweet about this a minute ago that it's not just John W. Henry has flown to London. Apparently, it's the majority of FSG have flown to London for this opening game of the season. Now, I'm glad our owners and chairmen and CEOs are watching us in our opening game of the season. They should be at Bournemouth next week as well, with the first game at Anfield, in my opinion. But Ben, do you think there's a little bit more into this? Or are they just flying out for the game?
They're not flying out for the game, mate. These guys go to one game a season, maybe two at a max if we're going for a league title or we're in a final. These guys don't go to games, especially not away games. They're not there to go to Stamford Bridge. We have an office in London, I think is important to note. A big office in London as well, where when we sign players, that is usually where it all happens. Who knows, man? Who knows? Maybe it's one more twist in the Caicedo deal. Maybe it's a Lavia thing, or maybe Klopp's got a message to deliver to him tonight and he's demanding something and something's going to happen. But the fact that they're flying out all the way to London, something's happening. Something's cooking. I don't know what. Who knows? But something is happening. These guys, I have to keep saying it. They don't just turn up like. When was the last time you saw John Henry in Liverpool? Probably when we won the Champions League.
Yeah. I mean, look, a lot of owners. I know Todd Bowley's gone to a lot of Chelsea games, but a lot of owners don't actually go to a lot of games, do they? Like the chairmen or the CEOs do, like that. I mean, look at Tottenham. I don't think their owner ever goes to a game. It's always the chairman in Daniel Levy. I don't think owners go to games a lot. Look at the City owner. Went to the Champions League final, his first game in 13 years or something like that he's been to. I mean, it's a mad one, but I don't think he's here for the game. But the thing is, though, he's bringing the crew. This is the thing. It's not like everyone's reporting. It's not just John W. Henry. It's Tom Werner. Billy Hogan's already here. He's bringing everyone. I ain't seen Tom Werner for years. Like what's I don't even know he's alive. I don't know. What's he doing? Billy Hogan's already over here. They're bringing others with them as well. And what people might not know is that John W. Henry does not like Todd Bowley. There's apparently history between the two of them. They don't like each other. So yeah, this could be fireworks, man. And then owners meet owners at the games and stuff like that. There might be more. There might be a bigger atmosphere behind the scenes than there is on the pitch tomorrow. when them guys lock horns, like what's going on? If we hear tomorrow that Liverpool countered this offer for Caicedo, I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah, I mean, mate, nobody knows. Like, I think this is the whole theme of this window. Nobody knows what's happening. Nobody knows why John Henry's flown over. Maybe it is just a little trip to London, but I highly doubt it. But all I can just keep thinking something big's happening.
Yeah, I agree as well. Big up Mario. Feeling he'll play Gakpo, McAllister, and Szoboszlai in midfield. Yeah, I think we mentioned that earlier. I think he might, you know. I'm actually thinking about it, and I think it might be a bit dangerous, Ben, but he might actually go with Gakpo, McAllister, and Szoboszlai.
Yeah, I mean, usually the last pre-season friendly lineup is a good indication of what a manager intends to do on the first game of the season. So there is a chance that could happen. But yeah, I mean, apart from the DM, we have got the options now. Anything can happen. He could do anything tomorrow and it wouldn't be a surprise. So yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see what he does with the lineup.
I forgot about this.
No, I think they changed it. They put it back to one game, I think. Yeah, they definitely did. Because if he was banned tomorrow, then Pep would have done the conference on Friday. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think they changed it to one.
They changed it to one, didn't they? And that was it the second last game of the season? Yeah, it was the last Anfield game, wasn't it? That he couldn't be on the pitch side for. And big up Bobby Firmino getting a hat-trick in his debut. Man's a legend. Guys, that is it. That is it for us today. Big up to everyone who came in and watched on this Saturday evening. We do appreciate it. Me and Ben really do appreciate it. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully Liverpool get this win tomorrow. It's going to be a big game. Massive game. Liverpool-Chelsea. Opening day of the season. Some great games so far today as well. Arsenal looking okay against Nottingham Forest. I think they look great. Man City looked like they were in first gear against Burnley. It was the easiest 3 points of their lives. It's pretty scary. Aston Villa getting destroyed by Newcastle 5-1. Yeah, there's been some decent stuff. And then tomorrow you got the biggest boxing match. You got a massive boxing fight tomorrow, and it's not Alexander, it's not AJ, it is Todd Bowley versus John W. Henry in West London. So make sure you're tuning in. It's going to be electric. Guys, I'm back tomorrow with the watch along. So make sure you come and join me tomorrow where we'll be watching the game live. Ben, what you got coming up on your channel, my man?
Yeah, so there'll be a match reaction tomorrow in the evening. I won't be on it because I will be coming back from the game at that time. But the Anfield Talk YouTube channel, please smash a subscription on there, like all the stuff on there as well. We've got preview shows, we've got match reactions, and hopefully some transfer news coming really soon. We're on 2.1k at the minute, so we're trying to get to 2.5 exclusive cards. So yeah, go smash subscribe on the Anfield Talk. You know, Centeno. The Anfield Talk on Twitter, just type that in on YouTube and you'll find it. It will come up the first page. So yeah, that would be a massive help if you could do that, guys.
That's the one. And mods, if you could put it in the live chat, that'd be cool. So Anfield Talk, the Twitter page, go and link to the YouTube channel, all that sort of stuff. Go over there and subscribe. Ben's a great guy. Go and show him some love over there. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow 4 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.